Are there any other movies other than Monster Calls we're going to talk about today? Oh, I spelled it Calce.
A Monster Calce.
It's a French film.
Right? Which means it's obnoxious.
Not all French films are obnoxious, just the vast majority.
Just most of them.
Now they're all pretentious. Now that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
And welcome to the UGO podcast. And I'm feeling it today. I'm feeling that XXX baby. If I wanna say that. And who's feeling that X gene? Are you guys feeling the X gene today?
I don't want to feel anything that's triple X in it.
No, not. No, we're not talking about the triple X Men today. That's a different episode. An equally good episode, but a very different episode. You're right, it's better. But
well, actually, no, because remember when we were looking at that X-Men porn parody that compared to the actual suits they were using in the Apocalypse movie, they were actually better. So
and the suits
actually you might be onto something.
Yeah, we might. Yeah, but who's talking about inexplicable, better tailored porn parodies? Why, it's me, Nick, the Merc with a mic. That is our most specific. That was our most specific opener ever, I think. But yes, it's me and my fellow unapologists,
Travis
and Kyle.
And yes, today we're going to be talking about some of the X-Men films. One in particular, in great detail, because we have not yet talked on the mic about Logan, which is a great disservice, I think.
Yeah, we actually saw that at its opening.
Yeah, we saw it in the opening, and we just never got around to recording a movie review for it.
That was right before we went to...
It was PlatCon, and then the next week after we had that interview with Randy, and so we just did...
Shit happened.
Yeah, shit kind of got in the way for a little bit. But we have a nice... we will have a nice review for it today. And we might even have a spoiler section for it as well. I don't know. We'll see when we get there how we feel about it, because it's been out for a while. I don't feel like it would be too big of a deal, but maybe we'll try and skirt around it for the most part until we get to later in the episode. But before that, we got some trailers to watch today. Not too many, because it's our Tuesday recording date, so we only got a couple. And then some geek news stories that we got to get to. But even before all that, we got to get to the announcements. And I think we can... we abdicated a special guest last week, and I felt kind of bad about it.
Oh, so you need to make up for it?
So I figured we should bring back at least another guest to have on. So I thought, our buddy, he's been on before, but just has never announced. So I figured Don needs to work. Don Knotts, everybody. Hey Nick, how's it going? It's good. It's all right. You don't have to be so goddamn nervous, Don. I don't understand why you're so nervous. Well, I just didn't know that there was going to be this many microphones. God damn it, Don. Don't start about the numbers of shit, okay? I told you there were 3 hosts and then you, so there's 4 microphones. What about that one in the corner? It's a backup mic, Don. Anyway, could you just read the announcements? It's fine. Oh, all right. First off, we want to mention Tanner Hackle Designs. Designed the logo, the UGO logo. Did some great graphic design work for them. If you need some graphic design work done, he's a great option to look for. Of course, we got Isabella, the Derpa Dragon. Oh God, it's a dragon.
She's adorable, though.
It's fine. She's not bitten anyone this week, Don. It's fine.
Sure. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Oh, did I miss one?
It's fine.
Did I miss one?
No, it's fine.
That damn mailman again. I told him. Oh, anyway, Isabella, the Derpa Dragon was developed for us by the lovely Kelly Maine. And she did a great work designing that horrifying creature. But, of course, if you need any of our commissions done, you can ask her to do them for you. And just don't ask her to do anything for me, because that's some scary shit right there.
Do you need a glass of water? I mean, you look like you're about to faint.
Do you have it? I don't drink tap water. I'm a little too scared of the lead poisoning.
You can just faint. It's fine.
I think I thought to do that. Oh. And I'm back. Anyway, of course, if you'd like to get into contact with any of these young, fine-looking gentlemen here, you can do so. And I'm switching to Hubert.
Yep.
Oh, it's messing up. You switch. I'll break
the fourth wall.
Why there's so many ostriches? Oh, there we go. But if you need to get into contact with any of them, you can always contact them through their Gmail at unapologeticgeekout@gmail.com, or look them up on the Facebook on UGO Podcast. Give them a like while you're there, and of course, always follow them on Twitter at UGO Podcast, and then the Instagram. Why are there so many social medias? There's supposed to be a few social medias. Why are there so many social medias I gotta read?
And now we have MySpace.
No one has
Nobody has a MySpace.
Even I know that. Even I don't venture into that death's desolate wasteland. But, of course, if you'd like to help out the podcast even more, you can give them a 5-star review on iTunes.
Although I think MySpace is still up. I'm gonna go there.
Don't go there, Kyle. You never come back.
And if you give them a review on there, they'll read it out loud, word for word. That's Nick's guarantee. And he'll read them no matter what they say. I don't know if I'd be that brave. But, anyway, back to you, Nick. Thank you, Don. Thank you so much. Oh, that was great, everybody. Yeah.
Only fainted once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, only one. He's like a human fainting goat, that man. That's great. And also want to make sure that we mention, along with the announcements, Kyle and I have been doing the editing and been getting up those UGO Let's Plays on our YouTube page. So you can go and check us out there. We got some new stuff. Check out our new Horizon Zero Dawn videos.
And soon enough there'll be some Mass Effect Andromeda.
Soon enough there'll be some Mass Effect Andromeda for what's...
Andromeda?
Andromeda, yes. There's no drama in this game.
Maybe it'll feature Ottabro Ed, and we will even venture into Eau Claire, Wisconsin, or Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Go get all through my mispronunciations.
Mispronunciation.
Yeah, damn it.
That's next level right there.
Man,
that's amazing.
Meta. That's when you know you're on point. Is when you do it without even meaning to, and you finish the joke strong, like on a whim. I love it.
5 on that one. That's amazing.
God damn it, I'm a professional. But yeah, Kyle especially has been doing a lot of great work on that. So definitely go give it a look. It's actually pretty fun. It's pretty fun stuff.
Yeah, we have to make sure we do mention to him ahead of time when we need a penis counter, though, because I had to mention that to him before.
Yeah. I don't want to get like, oh, they mentioned this thing so many times and I'm not even mentioning it. It's go like, Kyle, how many times have we said that? I'm like, fuck, I have to look through 50 episodes? Asshole. No.
We gotta
Also, there's an asshole counter in the next one.
All right. So in our Mass Effect playthrough, just a heads up. We're gonna mark down how many alien races we want to fuck, okay? How many different ones?
How many aliens do we want to fuck? Alien fuck count.
I don't know how many aliens...
Spoiler alert, how many are there?
How many alien races are there in Mass Effect? Except for those Batarians. I don't get down with pointy teeth.
No.
That's a little... But, how about some Vorcha, though? Let's get weird.
Pretty fucking weird. It's like having sex with a rat.
Yeah. Oh, so great how they wiggle around. But on that, yeah, let's get off of that because that's gross. Let's get on to something that's a little less gross. Let's talk about Iron Fist.
Let's move on.
Yeah,
you said less gross.
Yeah, Iron Fist. So I've been watching. I've been keeping up with the Marvel Netflix shows like I like to do. We here at the podcast, we're a fan overall of the Marvel, the cinematic universe of the Netflix shows. And I think last time our last one around was Luke Cage. And Luke Cage, I think I was a little hard on, I think I've given all the Netflix shows, I don't know if we've ranked them all, like, with actual ratings, but I think I give them all 4s out of 5s in that, but differing levels of 4s out of 5s, that Luke Cage is kind of weaker, overall, because that last half is kind of like, it gets a little sillier, the villain is nowhere near as strong, that they decide to replace with. And the pacing...
They decide to replace an Oscar-winning actor with somebody else.
Yeah, that's a...
With a cartoon character, basically.
They stole somebody from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
And you killed my brother? Oh, my brother. But, and all the Netflix shows have a weird pacing issue to where they're like 2 to maybe even 3 episodes too long. Like, there's points near the middle of those series where it's just like, I feel like we're spending a lot of time on some of these subplots. Maybe we can wrap this up and move it a little bit faster. And I gotta tell you, I've not finished Iron Fist, so I can't give a full review or a rating so far. But my initial impressions are, wow, I was way too hard on those previous Netflix shows because the pacing of this show fucking sucks.
Yeah, I only watched the first episode and decided I don't think I need to watch more.
Wow. I actually have not watched anything yet, but I didn't really feel the need to, so that's also not a good sign.
The first episode actually opens up, like the first 5 minutes are actually kind of promising to where the music kicks in, they got the cool soundtrack, and then he has a neat kind of little fight scene with the security guards. He uses a little trick to get up to his own building. There's like a little mystery of like what happened to Downey. And then as the show goes on, even that first episode, you realize that Downey Rand is insufferable as a main character. And I'll tell you why. And I remember we were talking about the whitewashing issue. And we were all... I think I was the one in most defense of it. It was just like, well, I kind of like Iron Fist, that his relationship with Luke Cage, which is like they're best friends. I kind of like that he's a white billionaire and he's a black ex-fighter from the streets. And that they end up being best friends and like serious best friends. Like they are bros. I like that dynamic. So I was like, yeah, I kind of like Iron Fist being this white guy because of that relationship. And it's not unheard of to do a white guy doing kung fu.
No, I mean, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, we got, and basically that's what Downey Rand and Arrow, that's the parallels I'm going to draw for this series. The fact is that Downey Rand comes back after his Kunlun adventure, and he is spouting like this Buddhist like poetry crap to an actual Asian people, and he's telling like Colleen Wynn like how she should run her dojo, and it's like it comes off as douchey and condescending, and he is like this.
So basically, the whole idea of like I'm white, so I've been here first, even though you created it.
Well. He's the legendary Iron Fist because he spent all this time in Kunlun, so he is his mission is to destroy the hand, and apparently Kunlun is in a different dimension that only appears every 15 years, that's why he hasn't been back yet, and he apparently thinks that he can just come back in and start running the company again. Well, I'm like, sure, the people that are running the company now, they're kind of dicks to him, but he did assume that, oh, well, everything will be cool if I just say who I am. I'm like, no, dude, you have to prove who you are.
Yeah. Yep.
And like, he doesn't oh, well, can't you just trust me? It's me. I know these things about you. I'm like, yeah, but people could get that information. Like, you can make a strong case that you're like, oh, it's weird that you know all this stuff, but there's no definitive proof proving that you're Downey.
And then he spends the rest of the episode being a creepy ass motherfucker.
Yeah, and he fucking stalks his childhood friend to try and convince her, like, no, I'm Downey. I'm like, even if you convince her that you're Downey, it does not matter because you can't legally prove you're Downey. Ugh. And it's like, this is my problem with Downey as a character. He switches from understandably naive because he hasn't been in the real world for 15 years, but even that's inconsistent because he knows about some stuff. Like he knows like how to work internet on a phone. He knows like all this I
can't even work internet on other people's phones half the time.
Yeah, and it's like then he goes from there to unbelievably an idiot. Like he's fucking stupid about like this, because it turns out one of his father's friends, Harold Mitchum, is part of the hand conspiracy, and we see that early, and he decides to kind of trick Downey into working for him, and it's super easy because Danny's stupid, and it's hard to root for a character that's just actively stupid. And the most compelling character in the entire series so far, I'm only up to episode 9, I think. Like I've only watched 8 episodes. But the best character is fucking Colleen Wynn. And she is much more interesting and much more of a badass. Yep. Like, she kicks the shit out of people. Like, she gets into these, like, cage matches, and it's, like, fucking rad. Like, the way she destroys people. And, she has a more compelling character arc because she is struggling between this Bushido code and kind of liking hurting people. She's kind of Daredevil, like, I kind of like the violence of it. Danny's whole character arc is that he abandoned his post back at Kunlun, where he's supposed to stay there and protect Kunlun. He's supposed to be the protector, but he's also, his destiny is supposed to be to destroy the Hand. So I don't understand how you do both.
They're supposed to come to you and then you destroy them, I guess. I don't know.
Well, that doesn't make any goddamn sense. That's just being reactive. That's not being proactive. And then it's the flashbacks that they have to, they never show Kunlun fully. They never have not showed it yet anyway. And they are, they show his teachings and how, like, apparently this, he's supposed to be this force for good, but he's supposed to let innocent people die in his path if so necessary to destroy the Hand, but he wasn't supposed to abandon his post and be, the show is just poorly written, I guess is my main issue here, is that the writing is nowhere near the level of what it was in Daredevil or Jessica Jones or even Luke Cage. And things just actively don't make sense. The Hand has been redesigned to the point where they use Uzis and their costumes are different. They have a fucking Street Fighter episode, a Street Fighter tournament, to where the Hand offers up this challenge to Danny and is like, oh, well, if you defeat these guys, we will fuck off from your company and you basically win. And I'm like, why would they even offer that up as an option? Only to cheat then later at the end. And I was just like, this episode has been pointless. Nothing has been accomplished except for the fact that we get an average or so fight scenes. And that's what really sucks, is that I'm going to say something here that I do not want to say because I know I can't take it back. And I've been thinking about it all day. And I wanted to be 100% sure that this is true before I said it. Arrow is the better version of this story. And I say that with a heavy heart. And I have not seen the last 4 episodes. So if the last 4 episodes can seriously kick ass, it might work its way up to a 2 out of 5. Because
that's harsh.
Right now, it is the definition of disappointing. Like, it is in almost every aspect. The only thing is that Rosario Dawson comes back as Claire, and she's really heavily evolved in the later episodes. And that's great, because she actually ups everybody's game acting-wise. And Finn Jones as Danny Rand, also, he's super flat, and the dialogue that is written for him is not helping. The soundtrack is fucking inconsistent. It doesn't feel like the show knows what type of tone it wants to go for. I don't know, man.
Which kind of sucks because that was like one of Luke Cage's strongest points, was the soundtrack.
That was that was the best thing about Luke Cage. I do not get how they misfired this hard. Then I saw the showrunner of this. The showrunner's actually the same guy that show ran the last couple seasons of Dexter that were fucking awful. So I think the fact is there was no guiding hand behind this to make this all cohesive.
The hand.
Yeah, we had saw those really harsh reviews going in, and I thought that would lower my expectations enough to where I'd be like, okay, I'm not expecting the best, so maybe I won't. Like, I'm not expecting, great things out of this, so maybe I'll be nicer to it. God damn it is fucking boring. And say what you want about Arrow, but Arrow isn't boring. It's stupid. It's inconsistent. But the fucking fight scenes are better choreographed in Arrow. They have more impressive fight scenes.
They do.
They're not afraid to put people in the goddamn costumes that they're supposed to be in.
Which is actually pretty impressive.
And they have the balls that way. And yeah, you never get to see Danny in his costume, at all. No, even when he's supposed to be fucking, he's worried about people recognizing him, he puts on a hoodie. And I'm like, no! Put on the fucking yellow bandana mask. That's the perfect opportunity to do it for an episode.
Or even revamp the beginning costume like they did in Daredevil.
Yes.
I liked that.
Yes, where he's a ninja, but it's different colors. The thing about the fucking Kunlun costume is that it comes with him from Kunlun. It's the outfit it's the fucking armor, it's kind of like the Bushido code thing that the Iron Fist wears this. And it's like this mantle, it's been handed down, so what the shit? So obviously they're not going to introduce the fucking costume, or maybe like later in the later seasons he'll earn it or whatever. But I don't know. Like again, I hate talking all this much shit without seeing how it ends. But I cannot imagine it ending in a way where it would make me feel like the hours I put into it are fucking worth it, because this is disappointing as shit.
Well, I might just wait for you to finish it before I even attempt it then.
Look,
show us some of the best scenes of it. I want you to make a supercut.
Okay, I already can do that for you. People have already put online all the Colleen Wynn parts.
Okay.
Watch those, okay? Oh, yeah, before we get out of here. The fucking Iron Fist effect. Boring looking.
Yeah, it's really bad, even the trailer.
Yeah, that one I do agree with. Yeah.
Boring. I'm like... I'm from the comics, and I like it when it's a giant fucking, like, yellow fire energy thing, because it looks cool, and it's impressive, and it looks like, holy shit, I don't want to get hit with that. Not just some orange peel, what it looks like. Like, what this shit is that? And he forgets to use it half the time.
Of course.
Like, what? He's fighting this drunken he fights in one of the cool fight scenes, he fights the drunken master style dude. Like a guy who's watched Drunken Master and thought, I'll base my whole fighting style off of that. And during that whole fight, he's getting his ass kicked. I'm like, okay, use your Iron Fist. You haven't used this episode because the only limitation is that it tires you out. Like, it uses your chi. So it's like, okay, use your Iron Fist because you're obviously losing to this guy. Okay, use your Iron Fist. Use your Iron Fist. Use your Iron Fist. Okay, fine. You beat him, but you got beat up, but you did beat him without using the Iron Fist. Okay, there's two guys with super poisonous weapons that are about to kill you. Okay, use your Iron Fist and break them like you did with the Hatchet Men, because he had that one scene where the hatchets in the hallway, he used the Iron Fist to like have the hatchets break on his fist, because that's just how impenetrable it is. And nope, doesn't use it there either. And I'm like, okay, is the Iron Fist not going to show up in this episode? No. It shows up in the last goddamn seconds of it, where he just destroys a door behind someone else to prove a point. And I was like, what are you doing? Now you can't use the damn Iron Fist if you get into a fight like in the next 5 minutes. You're in an enemy stronghold. What are you doing, you fucking idiot? And that is my main problem with this film, with this series, is that I'm way too often yelling at the fucking screen for characters to do the things that make sense. Like, I just want you to make sense, Iron Fist. That's all I want. And I feel like that's not enough, not a fucking whole lot to ask. But yeah, overall,
no, that's not very good overall, I don't think.
Slightly disappointing. I will be back with a full review after I finished it, because I'm already in this, so I might as well see it through the end. It will not defeat me. This so-called undefeatable Iron Fist, it won't break me, this son of a bitch. So I'm going to see it through the end.
You're going to penetrate this Iron Fist.
Oh yeah, congratulations DC fanboys. We are not just Marvel cocksuckers.
Oh yeah, there you go. And hopefully Wonder Woman's cool. Like,
hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, because it would be a cool dynamic to see Wonder Woman actually do pretty good and be like, oh shit, there might be kind of a whole dynamic shift. I'd be interested to see how that would work and how Marvel would kind of work off of it.
As the closest one to a DC hater here, although just DC Cinematic Universe, I'm still would be perfectly fine with Wonder Woman being a great movie.
Yeah.
I would watch it.
Travis, I know you get pretty bored easily with series, but then again, you watch Supernatural, and
yeah, but I never actually watched it. It was always on.
So for you, if you really feel like you want to be up on the Defenders, which I'm not sure how much you care about continuity, maybe keep it around in the background when you're playing side missions in Mass Effect Andromeda.
I could do that.
I don't know. Kyle, straight up avoid, because I know that your thing is much more like, you know, the Kingsman style or John Wick of like, oh shit, that's some cool level martial arts that shot really well.
Does anyone do an omoplata in this?
No.
Okay, then yeah, skip it, Kyle.
Like, Nick has heard me yell that in theaters enough to go like, that's what an omoplata is.
That's what an omoplata is. I did not know. I
could have someone do that to me. I'd be like, this is an omoplata.
No, he uses a bunch of this weird Tai Chi shit too in the middle of his fights.
Well, yeah, from what I was watching the first episode, everything seemed like a choreographed, like it felt very choreographed, which is a sign of bad choreography.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like it's just self-defense techniques that you'd practice without any real world application practice in it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah, that's when they're not in fucking board meetings. When he's trying to get his goddamn company back. Arrow did that in like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
It takes this the whole goddamn series.
Wow. I mean, really, all you're making me want to do is go watch the first season of Arrow again.
Yeah, maybe go watch back the second season of Arrow. Because the first season of Arrow still has a lot of these same problems that Iron Fist has. True. Which is just like, what are these characters doing? None of this makes any sense. It's like Arrow season 2 is actually way better than Iron Fist season 1. So
Came here to watch a superhero, not a business executive.
Yes. Jesus. Especially one that's not good at it. Like, he literally comes in and like, hey, we developed this pill, this cure for this vaccine, or like, or this cure
for this vaccine,
this vaccine for this disease in some third world country. I can't remember where, but they're saying like, oh great, we've developed this and we can now fund our research division with the profits from this because we can make these pills at like $5 a pill and we'll sell them at like $50 a pill. Or something like, it was, the price margin was like crazy. Mm-hmm. And he was like, no, we should give it away for free. And I'm like, okay, Danny, I get that you're a nice dude and everything, but they are a business, so they do need to kind of make money on it. So they need to at least break even. Like, it would be a cool PR move, which is how they spin it later. Mm-hmm. But it's like, I agree. $50 off of a pill that cost you like $1 or $5 to make. It was like,
being
that's
10 times as much.
That's fucking ridiculous. But of course, the board member.
It's not like the $3,000 a pill that the AIDS.
Sure.
Yeah, the punchable face guy.
Punchable face dude.
I forget his name. Which
I think
is probably
it's like Sickest or something. I can't remember.
He should be forgotten in history. I hope. But
his businesses are tanking actually. So
thank God. But yeah,
I'm not going to get into economics. Go ahead, Nick. Let's go back into fun things.
Yeah, let's go back into something that's not Iron Fist.
Start with something fun then, because we haven't done that yet.
I just did not figure how much economics would play into Iron Fist, because god damn.
Actually, I have a news story. While we're on the terms of things Nick doesn't like,
let's do it. I'm not done ranting yet. Let's go.
A certain video game is getting a sequel to the US in 2018.
Okay.
Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth.
Okay.
Is getting a sequel.
Why? Did they have another game that they didn't think it was going to make any money more? So because they would slap the fucking Digimon logo on it?
Apparently that game did really well in the US.
Why? The game is boring. The game is boring as shit.
And apparently it did well enough that the Digimon World game came out in the US, and apparently it did it well enough that they're like, yeah, we're going to make a sequel to this.
World doesn't make sense to me sometimes. Yeah, from what I remember of Digimon's Cyber Sleuth, I remember playing like 2 hours of it, and it was like, this was obviously a completely different game that got Digimon slapped on it. Mm-hmm. Like,
it does feel like that.
It is apparent. Like, but yeah, should we jump to our first news story then?
Sure.
After we're done with, some other yellow costume people, or green and yellow, because we're talking about some Power Rangers.
Okay.
Did you know that, on the heels of LeFou being revealed as gay, which I've not seen the movie yet of Beauty and the Beast, but apparently that scene is blown way out of proportion as well. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not as big of a deal as they were saying it was, or there's something about it that was kind of weird. But I don't know. I have not watched it yet. I will get back and report. But we have another gay character coming into theaters this weekend.
Ooh.
Because it apparently... I don't know if this was just a well-kept secret or if people just did not give a shit about Power Rangers very much.
That's more likely, actually.
Because the Yellow Ranger, apparently, it will be the first LGBTQ representative Power Rangers character.
Okay.
Well, I think it is.
I mean, they've had so many shows, though, that's almost not impressive.
None of them have been gay, though.
That's almost not impressive, then, the fact that they've had, a couple dozen shows.
Mm-hmm. And... yeah, so apparently in the new Nickelodeon film, the Yellow Ranger is going to having some girlfriend problems, apparently. Like, that's how the plot synopsis it was revealed, and it's like, oh, so we finally have a gay Power Ranger, and they didn't put her in the pink suit.
Yeah,
yay!
I'll give them props for that, I guess. Still doesn't really make me want to see that movie anymore, though.
It does look pretty, if the suit was a little bit better designed, I'd be more...
That suit's so busy.
They're
So busy.
It's like if the Iron Man suit was designed by the Transformers designers. Like, it needs to have more shit on it. Like, but yeah, I'm not sure why this was not as big of a deal. Like, there's no theaters in Alabama that are boycotting the Power Rangers movie that I've heard of. They're just not really. Maybe it's just not as big of a deal.
It's just not cool because it's not a big movie, so it's not cool to boycott it.
But it's a kid's property, and that's what everyone was all up in arms about. Of how I have to explain gay relationships to his kid.
That's the excuse. That's not the.
Is it because she's a girl and it's more acceptable if it's
definitely.
a girl? Like, if there's that, because I know there's that double standard too. I'm confused. I want to know why.
Well, it's because
which I know is a fool's errand for me, because I'm looking for reasoning in bigotry.
Yep.
So that's never going to work out for me.
Yep.
I'm just confused.
Well, most of the time when it is a lesbian relationship, it is actually more of a guy power thing than an actual LGBT power thing.
Yeah, that's weird. But if we want to move on to our next story, we have a new Dr. Dolittle movie in the works, apparently.
Really?
And apparently Robert Downey Jr. is going to star in it.
Does he have a gun?
No, it's just one of his pictures from Sherlock Holmes.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was going to be very confused on what the new take is on this film.
Yeah, so apparently it's going to be titled The Voyages of Dr. Dolittle, based on the 1922 novel of the same name. And, yeah, so it's going to be about the doctor that talks to animals.
Yeah, got that.
Made famous by the Eddie Murphy remake.
That then had 2 sequels for no reason.
Mm-hmm. Did it only have 2? I feel like it
might have had
more,
but I only recognized 2.
My question is, why would Robert Downey Jr. do a Dr. Dolittle movie?
My question is, why would we do another Dr. Dolittle movie?
Yeah.
That's also a legitimate question. I feel like that's also a question that needs answering.
See, here's something that we're gonna say, like, a lot, I feel, these coming years.
Yes.
Get an original idea.
Yeah, I feel like I've been saying that for so long already. Like,
I know, right?
This last year was full of them, and now it seems like this upcoming year is just like, what are we doing, guys? Yeah. We don't have to remake every goddamn thing.
Yeah, we're in our mid to late 20s.
Sometimes things don't warrant a remake. Sometimes the one with Eddie Murphy was the one that was enough.
Yeah,
that was enough. We remade it. It's fine.
The second and third one were too much.
It's had its day. Next up, we have an interesting fan theory.
Oh.
You remember that movie Life?
Yeah, the alien-looking one.
Yeah, that looks like Alien. Well, there's an interesting fan theory going around since it is a Sony film. They're thinking...
You've got to be kidding me.
That it might actually be a backdoor prequel to a Venom spin-off movie.
Oh my god.
Now, the filmmakers have been really coy, and they've not directly... They've been making fun, and they've not...
said one way or the other.
Yeah, they've not said one way or the other. They've not disproven this theory. They have not said, like, they've kind of been cute and like, well, maybe... So, for me, I'm like, there's no way that's what this is. It's gonna be just another generic sci-fi horror thriller. I'll be surprised if it's anywhere near decent. Because Ryan Reynolds can't pick a good movie that's not Deadpool. But, if Sony were to do this, that would be fucking amazing. I would lose my shit in the theater. I would be like, that is hilarious. It would be like Split.
Yeah.
Like, it would be like the ending of Split, where I'd be like, this is just a generic fucking sci-fi monster
That's
movie.
exactly... Yeah, then, I can totally see that.
And then if at the end it turned like it got the fucking white spider symbol on it, I'd be like, oh shit! My whole opinion of this movie has completely changed. But, that does not... To me, that does not sound like a Sony move.
No. Because that'd be a good and intelligent move.
That would be an interesting thing to do. Yeah, so apparently, the writers were reportedly reluctant to rule out any of the ties between Life and Venom.
Yeah, because why would you? There's no reason not to.
Joking about the theory, the writers weren't. He says that yes, the answer is yes. We are tied to Venom. We are the prequel to Venom. We wrote a Venom screenplay, so I think people saw the connection. They also saw the Spider-Man 3 footage that sneaked its way into the last trailer. They just announced a Venom movie release date just yesterday. All of a sudden, someone's out there going Bing, light bulb. So apparently I think they're being disingenuous there, being kind of sarcastic about it. But yeah, apparently there is going to be a new Venom standalone movie as well that's developed by Sony. And people are kind of wondering how it's going to tie into the MCU. I don't know. I don't think Venom doesn't work as a standalone person because he's a villain.
Yeah.
And if you try making him an anti-hero, you kind of take away what's interesting about him is that he's a super fucking evil version of Spider-Man. But it's a little disappointing that fan theory probably won't turn out to be true. But let's talk about something that's not disappointing. Flash. The TV show, season 4 will not feature a speedster villain.
Oh my god!
And now this one's going to be just for me because I'm in the middle of season 3 of the Flash, and I'm just like, okay, seriously, guys, no more speedsters. No more good speedsters. No more bad speedsters. There's too many goddamn speedsters on the show.
No to get rid of a few. Kills them off.
Just goddamn it. Oh, and while we're at it, no more fucking archers on Arrow. Okay, not everyone has fucking bow and arrow training.
So we're going back to the whole original thought thing.
Yeah, well, it's like they all get like, well, we had that one time where it was everyone, and it's not like it's the idea of the dark reflection of the hero.
Yeah,
and I get that. But it makes for a boring fight where I've seen Flash fight a speedster.
See, let's switch up and let's have Flash have an Arrow villain.
Oh man, what's Savitar? How is he gonna fight Savitar? I don't know, let me guess. They're gonna run really fast, and then, Savitar is gonna pick him up by the scruff of the neck and shake him around a little bit, and then they're gonna run, over water real fast, and then, yeah, they're gonna run fast.
And then, yeah, Barry's gonna run slightly faster and win.
Yeah, and he's gonna have to go fast. You gotta go faster, Barry.
Just have a Sonic the Hedgehog cameo.
Yeah.
So who is the villain then?
The villain is not announced yet. They just announced that he won't be a speedster. So literally it is such little news story. It just makes me so happy because I'm like, yay, finally something fucking different.
Only took 3 seasons of the same type of villain.
Yeah, I shouldn't have praised Arrow so much in the Iron Fist segment because I'm not... CW has been a little shaky for me this season as well.
Yeah, but you're really disappointed. It's the first bad Marvel. It's okay to exaggerate.
Yeah. I don't feel like a lot of that was an exaggeration.
Yeah.
I am not happy. Not a happy camper right now. Someone else wasn't a happy camper either. Mads Mikkelsen actually walked out of the Fantastic Four movie audition. Apparently this story just came out. Did you guys hear about this?
No.
Apparently he had a chance to be,
Doom?
I think Doom, or
yeah, because who else would he be? Mads Mikkelsen's always an evil dude.
Yeah, I think that was what he was auditioning for, but I don't think he even got to the point of the audition because I think he got there. Let's see. I think he was in the middle of when he was doing the Hannibal TV show, and apparently he read the script. And he said, I think he was quote saying, I think I walked out on the Fantastic Four one. I think I actually said, I can't do it. It's not about you. I'm sorry. This is wrong. Like, damn! He is not one to mince words.
No.
He did not elaborate why he walked out of the audition or why he thought it was wrong.
Well, he read the script.
Yeah, but it was, so yeah, that's rough. Man, that Fantastic Four, those guys, they're the only superheroes that cannot catch a break. Like, everybody else seems to get chance after chance. Like, the X-Men get how many movies after that? Out of the because we're going to talk about this later, but I seriously think, like, less than half the X-Men movies are good. And they still make X-Men movies. And
people still go see them.
And they made a Deadpool movie after fucking X-Men Origins Wolverine, and he was in that, and like, if that's not a comeback story. But for some reason, they cannot get the Fantastic Four to work. I don't know what it is, but, that's pretty disappointing. And with that, I really don't have any, other news.
Alright.
Unless anyone else has anything to wrap up.
I kind of do. Some stolen Van Goghs are back in display after years in the criminal underground.
That's cool.
Yep, they were stolen in 2002, and apparently I learned, Like, why would you ever steal artwork? You can't sell it to be displayed anywhere, because that's kind of a big red flag. It's like, hey, isn't that a stolen work of art?
Yeah.
It's like, apparently criminals use this as leverage to reduce sentences for other crimes that they do.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, that is some fucking Moriarty level shit.
Yeah, they steal paintings going like, I may have killed a man, but I have a priceless Van Gogh that...
Yeah,
it's kind of terrifying.
Look, that is awful.
So that's why they're traded in the underground, is to reduce sentences if you're ever caught.
Card, essentially? I mean, not literally, but...
Okay.
We need a plot. We need a script for the people who steal these for other criminals.
Now, instead of the fucking Dr. Dolittle remake, make a movie about that, because that is interesting. And I know... Okay.
You know what? We're gonna mix this into the John Wick universe, I think. We need the Hitman Hotel with that as like an underground dealership for fucking getting out of jail using... Oh my god, this is amazing.
They already have their own currency with the coins. They might as well have their own, and they have the markers and shit. Like, okay, well, here's your get out of jail free card. It's a priceless Van Gogh.
You get that with every free breakfast, continental breakfast.
Yeah, I love this. I don't know how we could end on more of a high note than that. I think we've gifted the world with enough good script ideas. So
listen to us. We just asked for royalties.
So with that on the subject of royalties, let's take a small musical break and come back with the trailer talk right after this.
So wait, is the musical trailer going to be royal?
Royal or something like that. Something to deal with royalties.
No, it's going to be fish heads. All of them
will be fish heads.
Next week.
Silver Rose Royce, cigarette smokes in it. New fur rug, now my dirty boots in them. Flowing in her pocket like enrolling in a college. Mean as a dean, triple beam, well polished. She wanna watch Scandal, I wanna count a handful. Dead president sleep in the attic of the mansion. All I heard was murder, think the house haunted. Super Bowl ticket, these bitches and fair charges. Labeled a racketeer, John Grisham with a pen. Top 3 writer, but number 1 at your event. Mastermind unfolds like a true crime. Double M gold mine for the whole time.
And welcome back to Trailer Talk with the UGO podcast. And obviously we're super excited about the trailers for today. 'Cause again, we had to scrape a little bit of the bottom of the barrel here. So why don't we just jump in?
Nick, we're eating the barrel at this point.
We'll stop. We'll dig into that tasty barrel because it's going to taste like metal, oil, and slight racism. Because we're going to talk about Michael Bay's new Transformers: The Last Night trailer number 2. So let's give that a watch.
Yeah, I want to see some dead robots.
Who let them on the set of
Dark Knight Rises?
Dark Knight Rises,
man,
yeah.
we get away with anything.
I was actually going to say...
Whoa, that's a bad effect.
Before my world fell apart. I want to stay, and I want to fight them.
You think you're a badass, huh? Is this okay to be a kid, little J-Lo?
Funny what you can do when all you have
That's
left
a little
is
racist.
Yeah, I told you. You couldn't get out of there. Slight racism.
Yeah, I felt like a girl.
Coming with me or what?
Don't you?
I'm sorry, what was you talking about?
Fighting like a girl. TIE fighters?
What the fuck are TIE fighters?
What the hell is that about?
Turn around, what do you got in your mouth? Drop the cruiser right now! Come on, man! Be careful! You get back in your hole and think about what you did!
Oh, we should have just ended on the TIE Fighters.
Yeah, so that was the trailer for Transformers Last Night. So, okay, good things first. Because I have surprisingly some good things to say about this. Now, one, it's interesting to see the Transformers series actually return to a children's story where we focus on kids.
Yes.
It feels right. It feels like, hey, this movie can suddenly be kind of dumber now because it's based off of this Goonies-style kids thing.
Yeah.
Also, are we in a post-apocalyptic Transformers universe now?
It does seem like it.
It's weird, though, because like, he's switching back and forth, and it seems like people are acting normally in the apocalypse, so...
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't in the last trailer, weren't there both knights, medieval stuff, and Nazis? Like, what?
They fucked with the timelines too much.
I felt like I watched a different, like, I thought this was like the next movie. I thought we might have skipped sequels at one point. I thought we might have skipped forward. Like, did I miss one? Had they come out so fast that I missed a Transformers movie? But,
but you misunderstood it. This was the last night too, as in that's not the trailer number 2. This is the second movie.
I actually kind of like the element of girl power that he put into it.
Yep.
I mean, it's not subtle, but it's kind of neat where it's like, hey, you hear the like, I fight like a girl. Well, yeah, fuck you. I fight like a girl. I fight however I want to fight. And I'm like, yeah, all right. And then this idea of her, like, she's even gutsy enough to like power walk up to a bunch of Decepticons that are picking on her robot friend, and I'm just like,
I'm not afraid of you.
I'm like, you should be. They're like the sides of buildings. What the fuck are you doing? And then, of course, we can't get out of here without Mark Wahlberg making the little J-Lo comment.
Yep,
which was
racist
like,
comment.
I was like, odd that you would associate this small little girl with J-Lo. Feels a little weird on a lot of levels, but fine, I guess. I've seen more overtly racist stuff from Michael Bay films, so I guess, now...
Who knows, maybe she just likes J-Lo and she's a good singer.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, sarcasm deeply in there.
Maybe that's part of her character.
You never know.
And it's surprising we didn't see this girl in the previous trailer at all.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Like, where did she seems like the main fucking character, and she comes out of nowhere.
I hope she's the main character. I have a feeling it's Wahlberg.
Yeah, it could be. I'm thinking maybe he's more of a mentor type role sort of thing, hopefully. But yeah, the more the trailer goes on, the more it's revealed that, like, nope, same old bullshit. Including an interesting scene where might be the most flagrant copyright I've ever seen, because those are fucking TIE fighters.
They really are.
That's like Darth Vader's TIE fighter.
We watched it twice, and we're just like, no.
I was just like, what? You don't play with Disney, okay? They are not cute about their copyright. They will come at you, Michael. They will come at you, Bay.
I kind of hope they do.
Bay as in B-A-Y, not B-A-E.
Nowhere close to that.
He's my baby.
Baby. Okay, God damn it.
He is a big baby. But, the dinosaur at the end, like, I actually forgot there's robot dinosaurs, like, and then of course the effect of the baby dinosaurs with her is a horribly rendered effect that is like, just like, and I'm sick of saying this because I know it probably won't be true of like, oh, well, it might not be fully rendered yet. I'm like, yeah, even fully rendered, that's gonna look stupid.
Yep.
And
they look like anime.
Yeah, it is weird for a series like this. It's just like, oh yeah, it has robot dinosaurs. And
it's not interesting.
And medieval stuff, and like, this crazy bullshit. And Mark Wahlberg talking to robots, which should be hilarious, but I don't know. I was just shocked that the first part of this trailer was like, wow, if I had not known this was a Transformers film, I would be kind of like, oh, this is kind of neat.
To be honest, it looks more like a trailer for like what's going to turn out to be like a kids back to school program than anything else, to be honest.
Yeah, well, it looks like that blue robot is right out from Earth to Echo, or one of those movies. Because, you know, the big ass eyes, got the big anime eyes. Love me in my big ass anime eyes.
Those big ass anime eyes are actually originally created from Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah?
Yep, that's how they based it originally off of.
Well, I don't know if they're going to be... they probably... Fitting, since they probably will be jumping into giant money pits because of shit like that. They'll probably sell a bunch of those little blue robot toys. But yeah, unless we have any more passing thoughts on that...
It's a pile of shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's our first one.
Yeah, that's our first thought, and
I saw what was next on your queue, and I'm excited.
And our first thought and our only thought on that one. Well, we'll work through it, okay? We have to earn the last one, all right? Because we have to now watch the trailer for The Boss Baby 2, okay?
Why are you trying to kill us?
It's like, come on, they're 3 minutes long. You could suffer through. It's like 2 minutes.
Feels a lot longer.
Come one step closer, and I'll illuminate you with a soft glow, and I'll clean your clock. Oh, blimey!
Look, you've all made an excellent decision to see this movie. You're clearly shrewd,
So let me lay this out for you. On March 31st, my movie DreamWorks The Boss Baby will be coming out. We don't have any talking candlesticks, but if that's a deal breaker, we'll cram one in there somewhere. Oh yeah!
What the?
I think the kid might be onto me. Yes!
You can talk!
Let go, you little...
Look, the kids are finally getting along.
That's nice. I'm on a mission. Puppies are winning, and babies are losing. My job is to find out why.
I will help you, just to get rid of you.
Deal. How do we get past the guard? Arvin. Oh.
You just drop a baby.
Yep. Like, swear nautical.
You're putting this thing on!
What's all the racket?
Isn't he adorable? I've got one for you too! What?
Bummer. I can't do this without you, Tim.
We do make a pretty good team.
No, literally, I can't reach the doorknobs. I've never been so humiliated in all my life.
I see you, baby. Shaking that thing. Shaking that thing. Shaking that thing.
Put that cookie down. Cookies are for closers.
All right, so that was trailer number 2 for The Boss Baby.
Alright, the first half was actually pretty decent.
Yeah, I know. I was actually I was surprised. I was like, I'm actually kind of laughing at some of these jokes.
Yeah.
Like the candlestick thing, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, and then it started to fall flat again.
Yeah, because they can't help themselves. DreamWorks cannot help themselves to go for the lowbrow crap. Mm-hmm. And, like the sniffing each other's asses, and I'm like, come on, you were doing better. You were doing good. And, because I like the jokes of I can't do this without you. I know. No, literally I can't. The doorknobs, they're super high. Like I can't do it. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cute. But then it's followed up by fucking farts or poop jokes or whatever the hell the lowbrow they think the kids will laugh at. And it's
really, that's the whole plot, is that they don't like the fact that puppies are killing babies. Have you met a baby? They're disgusting.
Now that is interesting to me. Because I want to see puppies versus babies. And I want to see it.
Didn't we already have a cats versus dogs?
Yes,
yeah,
it reminds me.
It's a pretty crappy movie.
It's cats versus dogs, only it's babies versus puppies. And I like that. I like this cute, cuddly carnage. But it more or less makes me want to see a real life puppy and a real life baby fight. Because I think that would be adorable.
The baby just breaks its bottle and...
Yeah, just like
shanks the dog.
Okay, you want this, Fido? You want it?
Bring me the ball. You do it.
But yeah, that's that I was surprised at this for the first, because I was laughing and I hate myself, like, oh no, not Boss Baby.
I kind of hated you both. You laughed.
You didn't laugh.
I didn't laugh. I didn't laugh a single time.
I thought some of them were cute in the beginning. I
had the same face the whole entire time, with just this utter horror and disgust. I'm like, ugh, no.
Ah, you humorless monster.
Yeah, that would mean you don't have humor if the first half didn't at least get you a little bit.
Come on, it had a couple things in there. Alec Baldwin's funny.
I know, I was feeling awkward, and then it fell off, and I'm like, yeah, this is what I expected.
Yeah. It does reset your expectations back to 0 more than anything else. But with that, let's just move on to after that ultimately disappointing trailer talk. Let's be honest. Why don't we move on?
I kind of wish I just wasn't here for that.
Let's take a small musical break to recharge. We'll be right back right after this.
There's a man going round taking names, and he decides who to free and who to blame. Everybody won't be treated all the same. There'll be a golden ladder reaching down when the man comes around.
All right, and we're back. A Dinosaur Tale. Now we're thinking about it. Is that on Netflix at all?
I need you to sing.
Is that no? I don't think I got the John Goodman pipes there. Roll back the clock. But let's indeed roll back the clock a little bit to a month ago when we actually, well, not quite a month. It's been like at least two and a half weeks, something like that.
About.
So almost a month. But we watched Logan way back when.
Logan, what did you do? Charles, the world is not the same as it was. Mutants. They're gone now. I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real.
What is she?
Beneath the stain.
She's like you.
Of time.
Very much like you.
The feelings disappear.
She needs our help.
You are.
Someone will come along. Someone has come along.
I am still right here.
And we never talked about on the podcast what our thoughts were, and I thought, like, that's a travesty. We have to correct that. So, for this ultimate X-Men talk, should we start off with our review of Logan?
Sure.
Should we start it off? All right. So, Logan, the final Wolverine film, or so they say. At least
the
with
final one for this month.
At least with Hugh Jackman. At least with Hugh Jackman, he said, like, "Nope, I'm done. I'm done. It's over. It's over after this." And this is basically Wolverine's last call, kind of like a send off for Wolverine. And it starts us off on a really dark place where it's not a post-apocalyptic movie like the trailers kind of.
We thought that way.
We just kind of thought that because
that's what the comics are. So.
Yeah, because when the comics are, and plus it's shot in Mexico, and that place looks like a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Sorry, Mexico. But we see Wolverine, and he's a limo driver. Like, that was weird. Like, of all things, he's a limo driver.
Like, of depressing montages, that was up there.
Not only that, an Uber limo driver.
Ew. Wolverine driving an Uber. I'm Logan. I'll be your Uber driver for today. If you want to notice in the recommend driver section, if you have any critiques, just make sure that you give me a nice review, or I'll fucking cut you. He's greatly reviewed, a great service. But yeah, he is old. His
not looking so good.
His healing factor it's working, but only kind of.
Yep.
Like it's fucked up. Like even his claw gets fucking. It doesn't extend the full. Like he almost goes.
He has to pull it out the rest of the way.
Yeah. This never happens to me. I can't fully extend the claw. So yeah, and if you didn't know this movie was rated R, it opens it up with you.
It informs you pretty quickly.
Because he wakes up in his limo with a bunch of guys trying to jack his tires and stuff. They got it up on almost on blocks already. Mm-hmm. And he gets out the back and he's just like, "Okay, guys, just fuck off so we don't have to do this, alright? Like, this is not going to work out for you." And they fucking shoot his ass. And he gets up, of course, and is basically really annoyed. And he decides to just...
With a shotgun, by the way, and not in the ass.
Yeah, to take his ass out, because it's apparently it's the only way to actually knock a Wolverine down is with a shotgun. So he fucking decides to, you know what? Fuck all those previous movies. I'm cutting off limbs, and I'm stabbing people in the face. Like, and not like, oh, the camera will cut away and kind of like hide No, you're gonna see claws go into the face and come out the other side of the person's face.
He scalps somebody. Like,
yeah. And for me, who's always kind of wanted to see Wolverine cut loose, that opening sequence it's shocking at first, but then you're kind of like, yeah, that's kind of rad. Like, my inner bloodlust was kind of going like, yeah, cut more arms off. This is awesome. Yeah, he is trying to make money, apparently, for
a boat.
A boat.
Well, Wolverine's going to be on a boat.
He wants to get a boat for him and his buddy Xavier, who he's taking care of, and they have this like fatherly, father-son type of relationship.
Okay, I still can't get over the fact that Patrick Stewart says "fuck you,
Man,
Logan."
He says fuck. He says fuck in this movie. It's so cool. Like, I liked it a lot.
I really love like old crazy Patrick Stewart.
I do love old crazy Patrick. And dude is that sad. Mm-hmm. Like, if there's anything about this movie that you might want to know going in is that it's a little bleak. Like, we won't spoil it, but there's just some dark shit in here that gets piled onto our characters.
I mean, we could just mention the fact that a small girl gets stabbed through the chest with a spear.
Dude,
like, that's a thing that happens.
They harpoon her like they're hunting whales. But we'll get to that. We're gonna get there, okay? Because we're still talking about fucked up, crazy Patrick Stewart, who is...
I'm a nonagenarian!
He is, of course, the most powerful telepath on the planet, and he has, like, a degenerative brain disease of some kind. I don't know if it's Alzheimer's or he has seizures, that's for sure. Like, he has these weird seizures, and when he has those seizures,
everybody else has those seizures.
He's like a telepathic time bomb. Like, we don't even know the range of it. Like, we get to see it later, and it would be like, if it wasn't stopped, he would have, like, murdered how many people in this one casino hotel thing?
Yep.
And it's like, damn, dude, he is super dangerous. And Wolverine has to keep him fucked up and medicated to keep him from basically just self-imploding.
And killing everyone around him.
Yeah. And he has to team up with Caliban, who is a lesser-known X-Men character who can seek out mutants and shit. He's like he's a mutant hound dog. And, so
like the Truffles.
So he's basically living through his life trying to eke out an existence for him and his last friend. Because all the other X-Men, they're gone. They're dead or absent or whatever. Like, we never get a confirmation if they're all completely wiped out, but we get the feeling that most of them are gone. And...
Well, they do say a couple times, like, Wolverine says, like, there are no more mutants. He says that to Xavier.
There are no more mutants. They're all gone now. There haven't been any new mutants born in the last, like, 15 years or so. And, during one of his, one of the cliched scenes of, he's at a funeral and it's raining. It's not even he's just driving someone else
Uber driver
to a funeral, and it still has to rain. Like, and this woman comes up with this girl in tow, and she's like, I need your help, you're the Wolverine, right? I need your help, you're the only one that can do it, I need you to take this girl, into Canada. Or something like.
And then Wolverine goes, nope.
And Wolverine's like, nope, fuck you. No, I'm not doing that. I don't do that anymore. I don't attach myself to young girls anymore and be their father figure. That's not my thing.
That first part sounded really weird.
I don't do that. Not anymore, goddammit. And that's where I love this film, because this film is the first actual film to get down what Logan's character is in the comics. And that character is, I am the hero, but I hate it. I hate the fact that I'm not bad enough that I can't just say fuck off to these people that need my help. And that's the ultimate dichotomy of Logan, is that he's the ultimate loner. Like, he wants to be left alone. He wants to fuck off. He doesn't want to care about anyone because they just would drag him down, and all it ends with is those people having bad shit happen to them. It never works out. And to his credit, it's pretty much proven every time.
Oh yeah.
If I'm a dude, I don't want to hang with Wolverine. Wolverine is not a cool guy to hang around with. It doesn't seem to work out for almost anybody. So yeah, they bring in the aspect of this girl, and he actually has to take care of her. And we of course get the reveal later that because Xavier is communicating with her like telepathically. It's like, it's a mutant. She's a mutant. She's one of the last mutants. You have to believe me, Logan. And of course, Wolverine's like, "Fuck you, you crazy old man. You don't know anything what you're talking about. There's no more mutants. Whatever." Suddenly, it leads to the Reavers being led by, I forget his name, but he's the lead actor from Narcos. That's actually really cool. And they are these robot people that are looking for, the Laura, that's the little girl's name anyway, and they're looking for her, and, they are willing to do anything and murder anyone in order to get her.
Oh yeah, they do that.
And yeah, so we get this great opening sequence. You've seen a little bit of it in the trailers where, Laura comes out and she pops the claws for the first time. And I love, man, what's his name? I forget his character's name. The robot-handed, sunglass-wearing douchebag. But he is like, no. I love the second no, because he gets this crack in his voice, like, And I'm like, dude, you're not holding on to your authority. And Laura, of course, goes, I think yes. I'm sorry, did you say yes? And proceeds to murder the shit out of all of those guys.
Yeah. All Wolverine is trying to get the fuck out of there.
The thing that would have made this movie a 10 out of 10 for me is if once she threw that fucker's head.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Just one of the Reavers going like, nope, and just turning away off camera.
I'll get paid enough for this.
Yep. So the thing about that was that they're not all Reavers. Some of them are just Mexican cops.
Yeah.
And they're like, none of the Mexican cops saw this little girl walk out with a severed human head and then saw claws pop out of her and went, yeah, I think this is above my pay grade, and just fucked off.
Just be like, I've seen Narcos, just walks off.
No, seriously, you could not pay me enough to fight this little girl that can survive bullet wounds to the chest and decapitates people random. Like, she does not give a fuck, okay? As soon as I see that shit, I'm out, okay? I don't care. I don't care what the 401k is or what the dental plan is.
Yep.
Fuck it all, man.
How much cocaine you're getting doesn't matter.
And, man, Laura actually almost outshines Wolverine in this movie of how vicious she fucking is.
Yeah.
Cause she not only has those claws, but she's got the claws in her feet that let her climb up people while she's stabbing them.
It also kind of helps that she doesn't really talk at all, so she just kind of screams at them.
Yeah. She's like a badger. She's like trying to fight a badger, like a little vicious little shit.
She's like an actual Wolverine.
Yes. She is nasty in this. And I love it. I love that they're unapologetic about it too. I love the fact that they shoot this little girl with a harpoon. And it's like, damn, it's shocking because you never see that level of violence, shown on a child.
You never see that violence anywhere, let alone on a child.
No, we saw the whole harpoon thing in the Wolverine movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. But it was him. But it was him, it was not a little girl.
It was him being turned into a porcupine.
Yeah. Apparently that's how you hunt Wolverines.
Yes.
You have to treat them like they're whales. Like,
well, would you want to get close to that?
No. Well, I wouldn't be hunting them anyway.
Fair.
Harpoons or any weapons, I wouldn't be hunting Wolverines. It doesn't seem like it would be great for your life expectancy. So yeah, after that confirmation,
confrontation,
confirmation that she is a mutant.
Oh, okay.
Like oh shit, Xavier is right. He's not crazy.
Well,
this chick does need my help. Let's get her out of here, and we will go and go on this fucked up road trip and have some adventures. And the movie, you think like it starts from this dark place, but then it proceeds to just get kind of just darker and then darker, and it's just like, and for me, I know this is going to turn some people off because they expect the X-Men movies to be a little more fun. They're superhero movies.
It's rated R, guys. You have to come in knowing this.
But the thing is about it is it's not rated R just so they can show violence. No. It's so that they can have these darker themes, and the nihilism of this movie is actually, it is more of a Western than any actual Western movie I've seen in the last, 5 to 10 years even. It is so dark. I mean, I even like it. You could even watch this movie without knowing who Wolverine even is, and it would probably work as a Western. I mean, he is the man with no name, except for Logan, Wolverine, and also Weapon X.
Yeah, Weapon X.
And, he's the man with a lot of names. Never mind. Bad comparison. But I love the level of the effects works of this movie. When Wolverine gets shots this time, he doesn't get the CG healing thing. He gets like a bunch of practical shit that he actually has to dig out the bullets that he gets hit with. And I'm like, damn, that sucks. Like, you didn't realize like how big of a deal his healing factor is until he doesn't have it anymore. Of just like, oh, you mean you can't just push out bullets or grow back big chunks of your sternum?
He's not very good at dodging either.
Well, think about it. If you were immortal for most of your life, would you learn how to dodge? No, you just learn that. Oh, that's annoying.
I'm gonna go punch you now.
Yeah, you would work through the pain. That would be your strategy because you don't have to dodge shit. So he doesn't have the right instincts anymore. Yeah. So. A lot of the other elements of this movie I don't want to quite spoil quite yet, because I feel like we should save that for a spoilers section so that we can keep that relatively separate, because I feel like you should go see this movie cold because it has some interesting turns in it. I really, really enjoy what happens with Xavier's character because it is a great twist of fate that of what his ultimate character conflict is with even Wolverine,
right?
And why they are kind of they're friends, but there's also this underlying contention you can feel between them.
Well,
and then,
I don't know, if I was constantly drugging you for what I said was your best benefit, yeah, you probably wouldn't be very friendly with me either.
Right. Like it does feel like it's like when he has to pretend later that Xavier is his dad, it totally feels like that. Like they don't miss a beat about it. They have that exact feeling off of one another. And Patrick Stewart gives a great fucking performance again as Charles Xavier, and he gets even more range to do, like, just say crazy shit and to say fuck. The actress that plays Laura, wow, she is good. She is really good.
Child acting has improved recently.
I gotta say, man, I've been impressed with a lot of the child actors I've seen lately. Like, it feels like normally it was so rare to get a good child actor, and
it's always like, oh, he's 16, but he's actually like 23.
Yeah, and now it feels kind of more like it's getting way more of the norm that we're getting good child actors, and she has to display a lot of complex emotions without talking a lot,
which is difficult.
And it is difficult, and she pulls it off. You get the sense of her feeling how she feels. There's a scene where she listens to music on an iPod, like, for the first time. And she has this look of kind of like she doesn't know what it is because she's been locked up in this lab for the whole time. She likes it, but it's like you can see on her face she's trying to work it out in her head what this is. Like, she probably doesn't even know the concept of music. So, like,
well, they sang "Happy Birthday."
Yeah, they got
you're right. It. Oh yeah, you're right. They know that because they were allowed that. Oh yeah, and by the way, that sequence in the lab where kids are lighting people on fire, like, that is awesome. Like, I love that the kids are not adverse to doing some violence then or later in the film too. We get some nice child alternate violence. So when I say child violence, you picture child having violence performed on them, but it's actually the other way around. So
both actually.
I don't know what you'd call that. But there are a couple elements that I do have a problem with this film. Is that the pacing? It does feel a little long, but it's kind of like the fact that you have to really build this relationship to have an ultimate payoff near the end. And it's really important that we get a lot of time with Laura and Logan specifically in order for this to work. So I don't dock it as much as I would other films because I feel like we do need time for that relationship to breathe. And also this movie is funny on in a lot of points too, of where it has these rare moments of comedy along with the bleakness that really alleviate stuff. Another thing I thought was a little weird is that there's I can't spoil it. There's a reveal near the end where there's an adversary they have to fight. And it feels weird.
A little forced.
Well, on one level, I don't know how it feels, because on one level I kind of like it, because it feels like so out of the comic books. But then on another level, this movie feels so separate from that sort of thing. So it was the only time where I thought the film's tone was conflicting with something that was going on with it. And I know I'm being super vague, but I can't really describe it. It is a pretty big spoiler that they actually didn't reveal for the trailers at all, which I thought was kind of cool. Like, I thought that was neat.
Actually, most of the trailers are just in that first, like, portion of the movie.
Yeah, the trailers really only highlight the first half hour or so of the movie, and there's a lot more crazy stuff to go. So yeah, and then I felt like maybe the final part of it, like the lead up to the third act, didn't have to be as long. I felt like we could have cut there must have been a place we could have cut 10 minutes out of this so that it wasn't as long. Well, what'd you guys feel about it? Do anything you guys stuck out to you that was not quite as good?
I think it was a fairly solid movie overall. I mean, anything that I have was mainly a nitpick, and some of them are like spoilery. So
yeah, kind of hard to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, I know this one's technically a spoiler, but it's shown very early in the movie, but they still introduced adamantium bullets.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's one thing, too, is that I follow the writer of Doctor Strange on Twitter, C. Robert Cargill, who also wrote some of my favorite fantasy books, Queen of the Dark Things, and I forget the name of his first one, but he was on Twitter crowdsourcing, trying to figure out the timeline of the Logan universe, and I was like, don't do that. The X-Men movies don't don't have a continuity or a timeline, not like the Marvel films do. And it was great because on that Twitter exchange, one of the writers of X-Men First Class came on and said, "I've written an X-Men movie, and even I don't understand the X-Men timeline. I do not understand it." So yeah, this movie has stuff from like the first trilogy, like X1 through 3. It also has the adamantium bullets from X-Men Origins Wolverine, which might be the only time these movies have ever referenced Origins. So it's like, it's pulling from all over the place. So the only thing I can tell you is that this is an alternate timeline. This has some stuff to do, like some of the events are the same as the other movies, but there's obviously other stuff that is different. So this is like an Elseworlds comic where like a what if. Because they mention the Statue of Liberty, and like they even say like, "Hey, the Statue of Liberty was a long time ago." I'm like, "Yeah, it was a long fucking time ago. It was almost as long as this movie is set." Like the difference is like it was almost like 15 years, right? At least it's got to be close. But yeah, like as far as that one, early on when they introduced the adamantium bullet, I'm like, okay, continuity doesn't matter in this movie anymore. Like it doesn't.
Still a stupid idea.
They've left that to the wayside.
Overall, like you said, I do have problems with the pacing. I feel like this movie it could have used a little bit more in the editing. Like, not too terrible, just the length of the movie itself. Cause I kept feeling like I wanted a little bit more backstory into this world. Like, so all the mutants, like, are dead, but society hasn't changed at all, really. It seems jarring to me at times. I would have liked a little bit more background to what actually happened to the X-Men. I know
it does explain what happened, but not into great detail.
Yeah, I wish they showed something or a little bit more detail.
It was funny because there actually was supposed to be a sequence showing what happened, but they cut it because they were thought like, no, this is a little too dark. Like,
and I actually think I would have liked that sequence.
Oh, okay. I liked it ambiguous because
so did I as well.
Because it left it to the point where it was like, oh shit. And once I get the reveal of what happened, I don't need to see it. But I've read the comic too, where they kind of switched motivations because in the comic, Wolverine is the one where he's got the baggage of the responsibility of the X-Men on his shoulders, rather than Xavier. Because in Old Man Logan in the book, Xavier is also dead. Like they're all gone. But yeah,
not sure if we were saying that for a spoiler or not.
Yeah, we'll save that for a spoiler.
Well, you kind of just revealed it.
Well, I know. I mean, I revealed that in the comic, X-Men, Wolverine is responsible for what happens, and he feels like he's responsible because he feels like he's responsible for everything until you get to the reveal later in the comic where it's like, oh no, you fucked up. And in this movie, they don't go that way because they can't, because the Hulk, they can't use Hulk like they did in the comic. They can't use Magneto and, they could have used Magneto, but they couldn't use Kingpin or like all the other Marvel heroes. Cause in the comic, the Marvel supervillains decide to team up and take over and like, okay, we're gonna all team up and take over the world like we never seemed to be able to do before, but this time it's gonna work. And with that, I think we can wrap up our review anyway, and we'll save the spoiler section until the end segment.
Did we say scores?
That's what I was just about to go into because I wanted to lead into that because I'll start. So when I'm thinking of this one when they're saying it's the best X-Men movie, I'm thinking like, well, it depends on your definition of best and, the personal taste and everything. I would think there's an argument to be made that this is the best X-Men movie. And when I think about the things that I find at fault with it, they are, like Kyle said, it was like they're nitpicky, it's nitpicky stuff, and not all of it is very significant. There are a couple tonal things that are weird about it, but overall I think I had a great grand old time with it. And plus it has a great ending where it actually has an emotional resonance to the point where, I don't know about you guys, but I was actually kind of choking up in the theater. I was like, holy shit, like maybe it's that father-daughter relationship thing that we can do with it. But this movie, I think I'm going to have to give it which is odd because he doesn't have them. Like, well, but since they have both Wolverine and Laura with the three claws and the 2 claws, I'm gonna add them together. We get 5 claws out of 5. Nick pick. That's how we get it. So 5 adamantium claws that don't come out all the way out of 5.
They're impotent.
You forgot her foot claws.
I was counting the ones on the hand. Actually, it would be like, well, since Wolverine's didn't come out quite as much, it might be a 4.5. I don't know. Now we're getting to the math of fucking of the X-Men movies, and we don't want to do that. So it's a dark place. We don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But Kyle, what do you think?
I give it a 8 out of 10. I think it was a solid movie. It's like tonally during some of the things that we're not going to spoil, I was thrown for a loop a bit, and also like you were saying with a certain villain that they added, kind of weird.
It was kind of weird. It took me a while to get around to it. Like I was to come around and wrap my head around it.
But yeah, otherwise I think it was solid. I give it an 8 out of 10.
All right, Travis.
You're actually disappointing me in this one. I'm actually going to give it a lower score than Kyle.
Wow.
I'm actually going to give it a 7 out of 10. I just feel like with the pacing issues and the fact that they didn't show things I wanted to, and then they did have this villain, which seemed to contradict the fact that they didn't want it to be basically an X-Men movie, almost. So it seemed kind of jarring to have the lack of information, but then this character. And overall, that ending did seem a little longer than necessary.
Sure.
It was still a good movie, though. I did enjoy it quite a lot.
All right, so we will be back with a spoiler section near the end of the episode where we'll spoil the shit out of it. But first, I want to just run down real quick. What if this isn't the best X-Men movie? What do we feel is our favorite X-Men movie? Because I'm curious as to what you guys. Because I know probably you guys haven't seen all 10 of them.
No,
because there are fucking 10 of them.
Why?
I have seen all 10 of them, and I wish I had not.
I have not seen Wolverine Origins.
Good. You should not watch that.
Yeah, I'm guessing that was not the best.
I haven't seen the first 3 Origins. I only briefly watched. We were kind of playing cards when not Days of Future Past, but First Class was being played, and so I have a very limited scope of what I can talk about.
First 3?
Nope.
I thought we all went to see X2 together at some point.
Nope. Remember, I always worked when I was younger.
Yeah, you might have been. Yeah, you might not have been there. All right. So yeah, out of your limited knowledge, so what you have seen the later films?
Yep.
Okay, so what would be your favorite out of those?
Oh, it's either Deadpool or Logan.
Are we counting Deadpool?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
They count it, so
then I guess that's an automatic then. Like, I think that's not fair.
Yeah, well, it's such a different one. It has X-Men in it. Like, we gotta count it.
Okay.
I mean, technically it's not an X-Men movie because Deadpool isn't always associated with the X-Men.
True.
No.
But he's in this universe, so...
He's like guilty by association.
I know, right?
So that would be your favorite?
Yep.
So out of the ones you've seen, what is your least favorite?
The Wolverine, I'd have to say.
The Wolverine, really?
The Wolverine, yeah.
And I know I like it more than I should, like, because I've seen Origins, and I just...
Oh, wait, no, I guess I have to say Apocalypse, technically. Technically Apocalypse, but I'm pretty sure that all of the ones that I saw, if we were just doing the ones I saw, all of ours would be Apocalypse, because I got there, like, after First Class, and then they've been pretty decent since, except for Apocalypse.
No, that one's pretty low on my list, too. Should we move to Travis? Travis, if not Logan, since you gave it a 7 out of 10, you obviously hated it. You hated everything about it.
I really did.
This is internet rules.
It was disgusting.
You're the one that, you gave it the lowest score out of us, so you're the one that hated it.
That's fair. I actually think that Wolverine should commit harakiri over this. Like,
yeah, I think he might do that.
So you're going back to the Wolverine.
You're going back to the Wolverine. That's what I was saying, yeah.
Yes.
Back to Robo Silver Samurai.
Ooh, yeah.
So what is your favorite X-Men movie then?
I'd probably actually say First Class.
The First Class?
I really did like that one.
Man, I love First Class.
It was so much fun.
I love it a lot.
I think that one, just the fact that I went to go see that one before you, and that always sticks out to me, where I'm like, I saw this thing for a movie, and I had to bring Nick to it.
I got burned on Origins, and I was like, no more, I don't want to see anymore. So, yeah, I have a really, a deep love for First Class as well. What would you say is your least favorite of the ones you've seen then?
It's been
how many have you seen? You've seen most of them, right?
I've seen X1, 2, and 3. I did not see Origins. I saw The Wolverine. I saw Apocalypse. I saw Deadpool, and I saw Logan.
Man, you've seen all of them but Origins, I guess. Yeah, you got them. Oh, you almost got all of them. Yeah, all right.
So, my least favorite was... It's between X3 and the Wolverine, I think.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Apocalypse wasn't very good either. Mm-hmm. I just remember X3 being real bullshit.
Yeah, X3 has the distinction of being really boring as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, from what I remember, and it has been a while, I'd probably go with X3.
Then it has the Juggernaut bitch. All right.
And Scott going out like a bitch.
That seems pretty fair. So, well, I have created a list because I do this all scientific like.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
So I
do everything very scientific.
I ranked because I'm the only one who's seen all 10, so I've ranked them. All right. So, first up, we're going to go start from worst to best. Okay. How about we do this? All right. So worst, it's X-Men Origins Wolverine, and then above that is everything else ever created by man, and then above that is even the animated X-Men movie, the made for TV, I should say the made for TV one, both the Gen 13, which is a piece of shit, and also, the one with, Siren leading the team, that was that made for TV bullshit.
I just need to, say that you just technically put those animated ones ahead of things like Where Oh Brother Where Art Thou, and
you did say everything else.
You said everything else and then that.
Okay, they're mixed in there. They're mixed into it. My point is that everything is better than X-Men Origins Wolverine. And do I even need to say why? Origins is such bullshit. They sewed Deadpool's mouth shut. That is unbelievable. If I had to personify it, misunderstanding a character, that is what I would point to. But yeah, then we have The Last Stand. I do not like The Last Stand, for a lot of reasons we were mentioning before. Mm-hmm. The Juggernaut bitch. It kills characters seemingly out of nowhere. Yep. It's the third time in a row where I'm like, are all these movies going to be about Wolverine? And apparently I was right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm looking at all these movie posters, and Wolverine is heavily prominent on all of them, except for, I think, First Class and the Deadpool movies. And Apocalypse.
And so the next one up is Apocalypse. And Apocalypse, man, I was so into it because I actually like Days of Future Past, and bringing Bryan Singer back, I was like, oh, this feels pretty cool. Combining the old one with the new one, it's a classic story. And then Apocalypse comes along, and I remember Bryan Singer can't direct a fucking action sequence that has more than 2 people in it. Like, he is awful at it. Even in the first X-Men movies, he has to keep the action... Split them up. He has to split them up and keep the action segregated. And it's like, And Apocalypse looks ridiculous. That third act doesn't make any sense. How does fucking Angel die from a crashing plane?
Yeah.
Like, he has fucking wings. What? But it did get some of the costumes kind of down, so it reaches above Last Stand and Origins for me, just because the costumes for like people like Jubilee are pretty good.
Who we don't see after that.
I still like Quicksilver in it. And so yeah. And next up, number 4, it would be X-Men, the first X-Men movie.
Okay.
Which I still think is all right. It has those early 2000s syndrome, though, where we hadn't gotten out of black leather is everything, to the point where I love that the later movies do put people in yellow spandex and prove that joke wrong, because I hate like, what were you expecting, yellow spandex? I don't know.
Kinda.
Something that would differentiate you guys from each other, because this black leather thing is not as cool as you think it is. But yeah, it does a lot of, introducing.
Although that line is so 90s.
It is. It's super 90s. Super bad. Especially, even like, do I even have to mention, what happens to a toad when it gets struck by lightning? Like, Halle Berry, come on, woman, try at your acting. But yeah. And then after that, I'm gonna put up the Wolverine at number 5.
Okay.
And the Wolverine, I like the Wolverine. It has a action sequence on the top of a bullet train. That's fun.
True.
It is infinitely better. It seems to understand the funness. They got, over time, they kind of understood the element of fun in superhero movies.
Yeah.
And they introduced it a little bit more. I like the fact that the Wolverine also took away his healing factor, to a point.
Right.
Where it made him more vulnerable, and that was more interesting.
Where he had to dodge.
It still does that PG-13 cutting away of the fighting, but he fights more people in it. It introduced some newer kind of mutants that were interesting. And of course, Hugh Jackman is always actually really good as Wolverine. He's always been pretty top tier on it. You have to knock it though for that dumb ending with the giant robot Silver Samurai, because that is ridiculous. Like, who thought that was a good idea? That this mostly down to earth movie, like wasn't anything too ridiculous on it, except for that bullet train sequence. But then decide to end it with a giant transformer. I'm like, okay, I don't understand why that decision was made, but all right. And
then broke Wolverine's claws.
Yeah, and they cut through Wolverine's claws because they were adamantium, but it was hot. So it was like, wait, what?
I don't think that's how metal works.
And then later,
adamantium's magic.
And then later in Days of Future Past, he has his fucking metal claws back for no reason. I was like, wait a minute, you had bone claws in the Wolverine. And then they were like, oh, we're the X-Men movies, we don't care about continuity. That's right, I forgot. And so at number 6, I've been counting them down from the head, but like number 5 in quality wise of from the top is X2, and I like X2. Yeah. I still like X2.
Pretty good movie over.
It has a lot of the same problems that the first X-Men film has, but it has
campier.
It has a cool ass Mystique sequence. Nightcrawler is fucking awesome in that movie. I understand why they never used him again. Why did they wait until Apocalypse? It has a lot of great action stuff in it. It has a lot of great, at least if we're going to focus on Wolverine, we actually get a little bit of a resolution on his backstory where he tells Riker to fuck off at the end. Like, I don't care about my backstory. This is my family now, which is cool. And, so I think that one still holds up pretty close to enough. And then, number 3, number 4, Days of Future Past. I really like Days of Future Past.
It's a hodgepodge mess, but it was a fun mess.
It's a mess because it's time travel and they're all messes like that, but it had Peter Dinklage in it. That's pretty cool. We had Wolverine getting back into the bone claws again. We had the combination of all the first class universe coming in with the old guard. We got to see that like culminates, and we got to see the old crew back, and it was this nice, neat, nostalgic thing. And we kind of got a send off for the old continuity, like, oh, everything worked out for them, they're cool, but
they're happy.
Here's the new timeline, here's the new one, and we'll have more adventures there. So that was really cool. And number 3 for me is gonna be, and this was hard, this is where it got really hard, were these last 3, which was First Class. Wow, I love First Class. And the only reason it's not number 1 on this list is
that Darwin dies.
It's because
weak ass villain.
Oh yeah, and
because Darwin dies.
No, it was because Darwin dying is not a great sequence either. Plus, Emma, the girl playing Emma Frost is fucking dead, as dull as dishwater in it, and Emma Frost should not be dull. Like, I should remember what her performance was. Kevin Bacon turns in a pretty kind of sometimes over the top and sometimes bland performance. It's weird.
But what's your actual complaint then?
No, those are all of my actual complaints. Also, this is the point where I realized that they do not give a shit about the timeline or continuity at all. Like, they do not care. They go up to Wolverine and meet him for the first time, even though they shouldn't meet him until way later. We meet Scott, like Alex Summers, who was supposed to be Scott Summers' younger brother, but they switch him to be the older brother. But they get yellow fucking spandex on. They fight as a team pretty effectively. They have all the cool 60s stuff. They have fucking Magneto Nazi Hunter.
Yes.
That is fucking awesome, and it would be great for days. The only thing I have to knock it for is that technically it is just not as narratively tight as Logan, which is my number 2. Actually made it up to number 2 was Logan, and Logan is absolutely great cinema. Actually, like, it's actually elevated to where it's one of those movies that we will probably be talking about. Like, you know how we talked about The Dark Knight, how it changed everything for superhero movies? This will probably be one of those we talk about, like, hey, remember when Logan came out and now we suddenly got all these dark kind of character pieces out of superhero movies? I think that's what the lesson Hollywood is going to learn from it.
I hope so.
Which would be really cool, because I would like to see a little bit more of that. But...
Which is odd, because actually, this is a movie we got because the lesson we learned from Deadpool, which was that a rated R movie can actually succeed.
Mm-hmm. And as far as best, if we were to straight up best X-Men movie, I think Logan would win it out. Because just of how the quality of the make and the cinematography and just the level of professional filmmaking and the script is fucking on top. Where all the other movies have one thing they're really good at, this movie kind of excels at almost all of them. Like, it really turns in its A game, like, on everything wise. But as far as this list goes, it's my favorites list. So there's one we haven't talked about, my number one, which is my boy, X gonna give it to you, Deadpool, which, man...
Winning by default.
Well, the thing is about it is that I can watch Deadpool over and over again, and I recognize that it has flaws, but Logan, I don't think I can watch Logan over and over again.
Yeah, that's an emotional...
Logan is a little emotionally draining to be on my regular rotation. Which is not a bad thing at all. There should be movies like that make you feel that sort of level, but as far as pure enjoyment of and what I feel like getting the character right, Deadpool nails it so hard. Like, it is exactly what that movie should be. And I'm actually a little bit nervous about the sequel because I'm not sure if you could make that lightning strike twice.
Right.
But
well, we want it anyway.
Yeah, I want it anyway. But yeah, that is my super analytical list that I spent like a good 20 minutes making.
So I spent longer trying to think of all the movies than you actually did organizing them.
Seriously, the longest I spent was on where to put First Class, because I want to put First Class like near the almost on the top, because I like First Class a lot. Just because it finally gets down to like, oh, this actually feels like an X-Men movie. They're flying around, they're cracking jokes, they're lifting submarines from the fucking ocean, averting the Cuban Missile Crisis, just crazy shit. And I'm just like, yeah, the X-Men do all that all the time. But yeah, with that is my list, and that brings us to the end of the X-Men movie retro review, I guess. But with that, before we get out of here, I think we can take a small segment to talk spoilers for Logan before we get out of here. Right. But just in case anyone has not seen Logan yet,
get out of here.
We will give you the chance to get out of here. Always remember to if you like the podcast, give us a mention on Facebook. Tell your friends about it. Give us a like on the Facebooks and give us a review on the iTunes, 5 stars, and we will read whatever goes in that review box on the air, word for word. If you'd like to suggest a topic for us to discuss, or maybe just discuss with us what your favorite X-Men movie, or how I'm wrong.
Or just tell me how awful I am for hating Logan.
Yeah, send all your hate mail for Travis's obvious hatred for Logan. Send all that hate mail to unapologeticgeekout@gmail.com, or you can leave a comment on our webpage, or follow us on Twitter at UGO Podcast or Instagram. That's the same thing. And yeah, with that, we will get on out of here, and we are Unapologetic Geek Out, and we're out. Okay.
Momentarily.
Now, everybody gone? Everybody cool? Because this is the spoiler section. This is your last...
We see you in the corner. Get out of here.
We see you there. Okay, don't blame us if we spoil it. Okay, ready? Alright, let's get to it. Alright.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna have us all go like...
Everyone dies!
Yeah, everyone dies!
And everybody dies.
I put the mic there. Sorry, I need to be more relaxed.
Not super relaxed. Yeah, relax. Don't go into your berserker mode yet, Kyle. Don't go in berserker on us. But with that, should we talk a little bit about the spoilers for Logan? So I want to start with our main character motivation reveal for Professor Xavier.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's where a lot of the forward momentum for the last act and a half of this movie come from. Like, it's all kind of an emotional roller coaster from there. So we, of course, are in the barn where they've decided to spend the night with this nice enough family.
Yes, very lovely people.
And it's like Wolverine is helping out his buddy, his new friend by scaring off some of the locals when they're trying to get this power generator back on. He returns to find a Professor Xavier in one of his rare lucid moments where he's starting to remember stuff. And what he's starting to remember is why the X-Men are all gone. And he reveals that, and we get this reveal earlier too on the radio. We get a radio.
The radio.
Yeah, it was kind of like, oh shit! Like, and it just drops it on the radio and just lets you like, yeah, that's what happened. I was like, fuck. But yeah, it reveals that there was a big telepathic event at the X Mansion, and it resulted in the deaths of many, if not all, of the X-Men. And yeah, so the
Wolverine is the only one who can really handle that.
With his healing factor, he's the only one who seems to be able to resist it to some point and survive it. And damn, that's so dark. That's so dark, is that they're the mutants' savior, their benefactor, their guiding light.
The one who brought them all together, literally.
That Professor X
leads to the X-Men's destruction. And on one level I'm like, whoa, that is depressing. But on another level I'm like, that is so nihilistic, but so fits with the tone of this movie. Like, it fits with this kind of bleak outlook of the world that
and it also fits with Wolverine's motivations of
trying to keep
protecting the professor essentially from himself and the truth.
Well, because their main goal is to get a boat so he can drive out to the middle of the sea and live the rest of their lives.
Yeah,
that's it.
So
that's the only goal of this movie, really.
Out of the way of people, so that he doesn't have to hurt anybody. And that tension of he has to take care of this guy that murdered Wolverine's basically extended family. And yeah, and Xavier starts to remember it, and he starts to break down, and Patrick Stewart is the fucking man. So he breaks down in this, I'm like, there was another moment in the movie where I'm like, I think I'm gonna cry, because I don't know if I can handle Professor Xavier bawling for the fact that he murdered all of his children. Yeah, I was like, fuck, that is dark, but I don't have to cry for long, because another dark fucked up thing happens, because Wolverine stabs Professor Xavier in the fucking chest.
I mean, that seems a little over the top, don't you think?
And I went, oh, what? I literally thought Wolverine stabbed him for a minute. And then we get a look at his face, and it's like Wolverine is super young again. And I was like, the fuck? And it turns out the bad guys hunting him have developed what they call X-24, which is a younger clone of Wolverine. And I immediately went, I don't know if I'm down with this. This feels
off.
I don't want to say silly, because it's not like the X-Men films have not been silly before. But like I was saying with the Xavier killing all of it being the direct result of the deaths of his students, that would feel out of place in all the other X-Men films. But it feels at place here because of the tone that we've set up. This evil Wolverine thing
feels more like X3.
It feels more like X3 or one of the other X-Men movies that would include the sillier shit. But then later in the film, when I think about him facing a younger version of himself and really doing battle with his bestial self in a physical realm, and plus he's always had an inner struggle of not letting the beast take over him, and he has to fight now his ultimate villain, which is this thing that has let the beast take over him. This X-24 is actually the representation of what Wolverine is truly afraid of. And we get that in a later scene where Laura finally talks, and they're discussing, like, it looked like you were having a bad dream, and it's like, I get those too, people hurt me, and Wolverine's like, my dreams are different, I hurt people. And I was like, that is why we have X-24 in this movie, because that is what his main struggle is. So while I was initially weirded out by it, I actually came around to it. I was like, yeah, okay, I get this. I can roll with it. But it did make me kind of go like, I don't know. I was iffy. I was like, I had to stumble. I was like, what am I watching right now? Is this going to take a bad turn? Because I was just like, if this is going to go like the Wolverine where we have robot samurais at the end of this, I'm not with this. But no robot samurais. And
plus the murder of that whole family subsequently.
Yeah, right after that too.
Yeah, that was a bit much for me.
Because to reiterate, everything Logan touches dies.
Yeah. And that was to reinforce that point.
I can remember that. I can deal with that though, which is why I gave it an 8 instead of a 7.
Yeah. And all of these things are to serve a function to Wolverine's character of like why he does the things that he does. So that's the reason that I love that the patriarch of the family actually where he helps out Logan by nailing young Logan to a post and shoots him in the face. He's about to shoot Logan in the face, and the only reason he doesn't do it is he's out of ammo. And I was just like, damn, it went there. Like there was no ambiguity. That guy died blaming Wolverine for what happened to him and his family. And I was like, shit. Again, would be too dark for any other X-Men movie, but works perfectly for this one. So we have to bury Charles Xavier in a really interesting scene of Wolverine trying to give him a eulogy, and then like halfway through is like, fuck this. He's trying to fix the car, and we have a funny moment of him like it's like an easing the tension more than it's funny of just him bashing the shit out of the truck. And we finally have Laura finally talk to him after that because she had to drive him to the doctor
by hijacking somebody else's vehicle.
Where do we get this car? Don't worry about it. And it's like, how do you know how to drive? I'm like, I don't know. She knows how to murder people pretty efficiently. I feel like driving would be a pretty ascertainable skill. And yeah, we get the reveal that the reason Wolverine might be not healing as much is that the adamantium is actually poisoning him over time. It's slowly poisoning him, which I think is an element that has been in the comics before as well. Is that the adamantium actually slows down his healing factor. And it's not as powerful as if he just had bone claws.
Yeah, not like Deadpool's, which is too powerful.
Yeah, well, Deadpool's is always active because he's always fighting the cancer, and it's always healing him. Like so his is even more powerful than Wolverine's at certain points. I don't know. It's always iffy. They always change it up in the comics. It's never consistent. But we finally get to this place that I love that they introduced the comics into this, that they have actual comics. I was like, I love that. I was like, oh my god, that's hilarious. And it's like, even Wolverine's like, this is all bullshit, like 25% of it happened and none of it like that. And this is where they got their coordinates for where they need to take the girl. And it's like, this place, it's not real. It doesn't exist. I'm like, well, yeah, there's no Eden that exists, but the kids think that this is where they're going. So if we are going to find these kids, they will be at these coordinates. Right. Like, so we got to go there.
It's still your destination.
Like no matter what. So I don't know what you're bitching about, but yeah, we finally get there. We meet up with the other kids who are also surprisingly good actors. Like I thought, it was another moment where I'm like, oh crap, are we going to do this whole like Wolverine is the savior of the children like thing? But
no, they basically tell him to fuck off. He's like, yeah, you want to stay here? Stay here. We're gonna cut your sideburns in first, but you can stay here.
I love it.
Oh yeah,
I love the sideburns.
Yeah, the children give him his comic book look.
Yeah, they give him his mutton chops, and I was like, that's awesome. And they're all giggling and shit. I was just like, yeah, that's
I think
great.
they actually knew what that looked like because they had the fucking comics.
Yeah, they had the comic books, so they know what it looks like. They get it, and it made sense. It was funny. So yeah, there's a lot of little details in there like that that I really like, and it culminates in this final battle between our mercs, our Reavers, our final scientist bad guy, and Wolverine and the kids. And Wolverine takes this serum that they told you, like, oh, well, we'll give you a little bit of this, it'll help you heal. And it's like, oh, I thought this stuff would grow you crazy. Oh, only if you take like all of it. Like, just don't take all of it. And so immediately when they say that, you go,
well, you're gonna take all of it.
All right, well, I know what's about to happen next. And yeah, Wolverine takes all of it. And for any of you who wanted to see a full-on berserker rage for Wolverine, woo! You get it a couple times in this movie, but this is the one that's like the official berserker rage. But yeah, he heals like he's a young man now, like he's a young Wolverine, and he's fucking people up, and him and Laura are teaming up fighting people, and it's fucking awesome because it's like a tag team wrestling match, only with blades and a lot more decapitations and stuff like that. So I was like a pig in shit.
There's a really silly moment in here where one of the kids, I think Travis knows exactly what I'm going to say. She explodes another bad guy
with pine needles
and twigs.
I missed it.
Yes, you went to the bathroom.
I had to go to the bathroom, and I came in at the very when it was starting up. So I missed this pine needle explosion thing. I'll have to go back and see it.
That is it's extremely silly. It's like, oh, she's gonna like trap him or stick him full of needles. No, the dude fucking explodes. Blood everywhere.
Yep.
You said pine needles. Maybe she found a pine cone in there, and he used self-destruct. I don't know.
It was one of those little jarring moments, and we were like, this does not match.
Yeah, but he managed to murder his way through all of the mercenaries and get to the
and that one scientist,
gets to the one scientist because the serum starts to wear off, and the scientist starts to monologue, and it has to be one of my favorite parts in this movie is that mid-monologue. Wolverine goes, I don't give a fuck about your reasonings, why you're doing shit, or what your evil plan is. I'm just gonna shoot you in the face. And he takes a gun and shoots him. Mm-hmm. And I was like, holy shit, that was awesome! Like, cause Wolverine is so tired and beat to shit, he's just like, fuck it, bam. I was just like, that is a Western moment right there. Mm-hmm. That is just like, fuck it.
I'm still pretty sure this is going to be the best, Last of Us movie we're going to get.
Yeah, it probably will be. If Ellie decided to sprout bone claws.
Yeah. But he's Joel. I mean.
Oh yeah, he is so Joel. He is so Joel in this. Like, if the writers of this movie didn't play Last of Us, I will be fucking shocked, okay? So yeah, he has to have his final battle with the Wolverine clone. And, actually, Laura does way better against the Wolverine clone than he does.
She takes him out almost.
Cause she is climbing up his ass, and it's cool because it's finally like the Wolverine versus Sabretooth fight we've all wanted, because they are just ripping into each other like all over, like just claws in the face, in the chest, climbing up claw stuff. Just there's a point where she is on his chest and just tearing chunks out of him, like trying to, I don't know, cut him into enough pieces, hoping that there won't be enough of him left to regenerate. So yeah, that culminates into a cool scene where one of the kids builds this fucking tower of rock and flips the Jeep over onto the clone Wolverine. Yep. And I was just like, oh damn! And we finally get the payoff for the adamantium bullet because Laura loads a revolver with it and shoots the clone Wolverine in the face and kills him. Even though in the continuity, that's not supposed to be able to kill Wolverine, it's supposed to wipe his memory, but whatever, we've already stated, the X-Men films don't give a shit about continuity, that's already been established. So, yeah, Wolverine
blows a fucking chunk out of his skull.
Yeah, it was pretty violent. And then Wolverine is busy with a giant fucking stump in the middle of his stomach. And they tear him off of that, and he fucking dies.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And it's really emotionally impactful because Laura is basically like learned her way in this new world from him. It has been his, like, it is this father-daughter relationship, and they bury him, and they give him a final eulogy of like I can't remember what she said, but it was pretty powerful stuff. And they decide to walk off into the distance which is
Canada,
into Canada, to Eden, which apparently Canada is
they have healthcare.
But yeah, and if it wasn't bad enough, like I'm getting chills just thinking about it. But when she takes the cross and she flips it over to make an X, I was like, that's fucking cool. That's how you do that, X-Men Apocalypse. Not this stupid fucking, what was it? Beams.
Yeah, like, they were I-beams.
I-beams coming together in front of Apocalypse for no fucking reason. No, that is how you do that shit. Like, it was great.
Practical or nothing.
And, yeah, after that, we fade out on that shot, and we get the Johnny Cash song, and we ended it with a Johnny Cash song, and what was it? when a man comes around, I forget, or Man in Black, I forget what that one's actually called, but it's perfect. I was just like, damn, that was a good fucking ending. Like, you know how nitpicky I am about endings, and I was just like, that was great stuff. Good stuff right there. Like that a lot. But yeah, is there any other spoilery stuff we want to mention before we just bring this one to a close?
Nope,
we're all good?
Oh, no. The white mutant guy, I forget his name, how he goes out.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. Cause they go,
what's his name again?
Corbin, yeah, they
kidnap him.
They kidnap him and they go children of the corn on his ass. Like they use all their powers out at once, like tombing him into grass, electrocuting him, like doing some sort of freeze ray or something. I forget what of the powers they had. I don't know, but he dies screaming, being mummified, and it's like horrible, and it's awesome because it's just like because these children are brutally murdered.
No, not what we're talking about. That's not Corbin.
You were talking about Caliban.
Caliban, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about actually white guy.
No.
Sorry. Yeah, we forgot about Caliban because we mentioned him earlier in this one. He's more or less a side character that's he's the reason that they keep finding Logan in them.
Yeah, because he is
Super
ultra sensitive
albino.
to the sun, and so
he's
the
like
bad
me.
guys torture him into... Yeah, he is basically like you.
He's like me if I was a mutant. If my mutant power was being burned by the sun. He goes out like a badass because he is sick of this torture and hunting down mutants, and he's, of course, nihilistic world and everything. He when he's in the back of the armor truck, he manages to snag 2 grenades, flips the pin on that shit, and he has enough time to give a what did he say? Beware of the light or something.
Yeah.
Like one of the bad guys said it to him because they were torturing him with the light, and he was like, "Beware of the light, bitches!" And he drops their grenades and blows that shit up. I always liked that.
That was awesome.
That was pretty cool. Like that was pretty rad. Like for a character that had almost nothing to him, that had little to no screen time, really made him a memorable death for him. So I did like that. Thanks for reminding me. Anything else?
No,
we're good. I think we got it all. I think we Wolverined ourselves out. I feel like at the end of a Berserker rage. I'm so tired. But yes, until next time, I think we'll sign out yet again for you spoilerific listeners. You dare to spoil. So either you watched the movie or just did not care enough to go see it, which I don't think there would be any of you.
Shame on you.
Shame on you. And if you would like to hear us shame you some more, tune in next week for the next episode of UGO Podcast. And with that said, we are Unapologists Geek Out, and we're out.
Again.
Again, it's twice as nice, Kyle. Twice as nice.